The year is 2004. The football video game landscape was full of competition, but that was starting to change. After 2003 saw Madden, NFL Blitz, NFL 2K, NFL Game Day, and NFL Fever release, only Madden and 2K remained. All of these franchises were aiming to be simulation football titles, however, except for NFL Blitz. NFL Blitz was a series that tried to be less serious and more fun, originally having 7 players on each side of the ball. The game allowed pass interference, late hits, excessive celebrations, and more arcade features that made the game stand out. In 2003, however, Midway released Blitz Pro, aiming to be closer to their competition by making an 11-on-11 NFL game. The story of NFL Blitz is for another video, but the important part here is that a hole started growing, as the 5 football games that released in 2003 were all trying to be the same thing, a simulation football game. EA saw this as a great opportunity, as they had just released 2 successful arcade-style NBA games under the name NBA Street. Now that Midway was trying to be something it wasn't, why not capitalize on that and bring the Street franchise to the NFL? And that's exactly what EA did, and the NFL Street series was born. Releasing in January of 2004, the game would give football video game fans something new after the NFL season was nearing its end. NFL Street was such a huge success that it spawned 2 sequels, and a 4th game called NFL Tour that was, interesting, and even gave EA confidence to bring the Street series to other franchises such as FIFA. If you've never played NFL Street, I can sum it up in one word: insane. Thanks to Raycon for sponsoring today's video. Unlike other wireless headphones, Raycon earbuds fit in my ears perfectly. I work out in them, go for runs in them, wear them while shopping. Man, I wear these all the time. What's great is that they start at half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market, and they sound just as good. Their latest model, the E25, is their best one yet. It has 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a compact design that provides noise isolating capabilities. They also come in many different colors to fit your style. Raycon was founded by Ray J, and you see celebrities like Snoop Dogg and J.R. Smith rocking these bad boys. Click the link in the description box below to go to buyraycon.com/SOFTDRINKTV and get 15% off your order. And once again, thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this video. NFL Street featured a game of 7-on-7 football, but it was not a Blitz clone. In fact, it was incredibly different and unique. The game's rule set was unconventional, with downs being exactly every 10 yards. If you snapped the ball at the 10-yard line and gained 12 yards, the next play would be 1st and 8. There's no kicking in NFL Street, so after a touchdown you have the option of throwing or running the ball for a score. Running it in is a bit easier, which results in 1 point, but throwing it gets you 2. There is no time clock in the game. Instead, it's like a game of 21 in basketball, where both teams try to be the first to score a set number of points. This adds strategy to deciding whether you want to go for 1 or 2 point conversions to stay ahead of your opponent. Players have to play both offense and defense, and when you create a team, you have to strategically give attributes to players so they won't be a liability on one side of the ball. Turnovers are frequent. The action is fast-paced, and it's less about football concepts and more about your skills juking, spinning, tackling, and scoring. On the surface, this may not sound like pure insanity, but it is with the way the game is executed. Everything is done in a hyper-exaggerated fashion. The games only take around 15 minutes, which allows players to jump in and out of action very fast. The 2 most important parts of gameplay are the style moves and game breakers. In NBA Street, players had crazy dunks they could perform for added flash. In NFL Street, since there's no hoop to dunk through, this turned into style moves. These include spinning the ball on your finger while running, juggling it, no-look behind-the-back passes, showboating, and more. Of course, doing this leaves you vulnerable to turnovers, but doing them earns you style points, which allows you to increase your game breaker meter. The game breaker meter charges up throughout the game, and once it's activated, your team becomes temporarily overpowered. You get to choose when to activate Gamebreaker, so maybe if you need a turnover, you'll activate it on defense, or if you need a touchdown fast, you'll activate it on offense. When Gamebreaker is activated, the sky turns dark, the music changes, and players have this cool look to them that I can't describe. Hyped up? On drugs? Ghosts? You'll pretty much get a fumble on any user tackle, or break nearly every tackle on offense. The game has a vibe unmatched in any other football game. The stadiums are incredibly varied, ranging from your average local field at a park, to one in the middle of a desert, to construction zones, to the rooftop of a building in Atlanta. The game has a deep hip-hop culture inspiration, from the fonts looking like graffiti art, to the player model's clothing, to the trash talk and dialogue. If you ever played a game of pickup football at a park, especially in a big city, NFL Street captures that vibe in an exaggerated manner. While people today beg for a more realistic football experience, back then we already had that, so a fun, cartoony, arcade-style game was welcomed. The game features all NFL teams and even classic NFL players and legends. The game's main mode, NFL Challenge, is where you create your own team, however. You create a name, choose a logo, and create your roster by naming players and strategically assigning attribute points to them. Your task is to travel across the country and play the best NFL teams and players. You play through regions containing NFL divisions, each with different challenges and objectives. There's a large variety of goals in these games, as some simply require you to hit 36 points before your opponent, while others require you to get a certain number of successful jukes, sacks, or style moves to complete them. As you complete these challenges, you gain attribute points to further develop your team, and if you beat the game mode, your team will be insanely overpowered. You can even play with your team in Play Now, so if a friend comes over and wants to play with Mike Vick and the Falcons, catch him by surprise with the Philadelphia foreskin and their star quarterback, Mike Hawk. Going through the mode also unlocks secret teams, players, fields, and more. Playing this game with friends was the best part. The gameplay was so crazy that it would make for a quick and exciting match. Online play did exist in the PlayStation 2 and Xbox versions of the game. You can either do Play Now or a pickup game where you draft a team. Gameplay against friends was even better than against the CPU, as it made the game unpredictable and chaotic. The game even today looks great. Because the game tries to look cartoony rather than realistic, the graphics have aged really well, similar to other games in this era such as The Wind Waker. Animations are very smooth and fluid, which was the norm for EA Sports titles back then. Everything looks and plays smoothly. It actually looks really nice if you're used to the janky, awkward, forced use of animations in modern sports games. It may not be as robust as today's gameplay, but the simplicity of it is refreshing to play. The game's soundtrack is full of underground hip-hop that fits the vibe really well, along with some rock music to keep everyone happy. It even mashed the genres together. For example, there is a song by Korn featuring Nas. Some of the music hasn't held up well, but it completes the street feel of the game quite nicely and brings you back into an era where you'd go to a friend's house and play each other on an old CRT TV. The sound effects throughout the game are sometimes cheesy but also awesome, with trash talk, super loud smashing sounds when players get tackled, and more. NFL Street went on to have 2 more games, followed by a flop known as NFL Tour, and then the series died. Superstar KO in Madden 20 is the closest we've seen since, besides the 2012 EA reboot of NFL Blitz. People still love this game, as it was so unique that it's tough to fill that void that NFL Street filled. At the time, NFL Street had a lot of hype behind it, as NBA Street was a huge success itself. It paved the way for FIFA Street and more. Even playing it today, you might find yourself wasting hours on end, because it's so addicting. I find it to be a must-buy for anyone who loves sports games. In an era where sports games are more about buying and opening card packs, canned animations, glitches and bugs, and frustration, NFL Street is an escape. It's a game that was made to be fun, and it is fun. It's not the deepest game or the most realistic, but it doesn't need to be. The gameplay, the action, the excitement, the addictive nature, the rule set, the players. If I could describe this game in one word, that word would be insane. If you want me to make a video on NFL Street 2 or an NFL Blitz game, Blitz the League, or even NBA Street, comment down below and don't forget to like and subscribe. Either way, I'm sure I'll eventually make those videos anyway. Thank you for watching.